Hi everyone, as Rob already mentioned, my name is Samuel Hulick and I run the site useronboard.com. I'm a longtime UX consultant and designer, and I too am someone who has had sex before, so thank you very much. It was pretty great, so all right. So the title of my talk is UX Basics that Convert Users into Customers, and I want to talk about the conversion part first and then find out how the UX part plays into that, and then maybe come back at the end with a slightly different definition of conversions. So to start things off with, let's go to a really generic conversion funnel or user adoption funnel. Here we have, say you have a software product, you have a marketing site that markets it. For every 1,000 people that come to the site, let's say that 500 ever get to the sign-up page. Of those people, 200 make it to actually completing sign-up. 120 ever come back a second time after signing up, which wherever Patrick McKenzie is, I think he can tell you that's optimistic if you're not paying attention to it already. And then let's say that you're converting about a sixth of that, so 20% actually become customers. Yours could be totally different, probably are, but this is a pretty general one. And let's say you want to create more sales. So one thing you can do is try to come up with a new product feature set, talk to your customers, do customer development, design it, scope it, launch it, support it. It's a kind of a long play, big bet there. Alternatively, you could come in on the other side of the funnel and just increase your marketing efforts, either get more specific about who you're targeting or double your advertising rate. If you double your advertising, in theory, double the people will make it through to the other end of the funnel. However, I'd like to offer one alternative, which would be focusing on the funnel part itself and just going for some small wins that can have a big effect. So let's say that you were looking at this, and I should have made another slide, but not only are you, so say you're going from 1,000 to 500 to 200, you're leaving the negative space version of that on the table. So you're leaving 500 people from the first step, you're leaving another 300 at the second, so on and so forth. And if you really just wanted to see if you could find small wins, low-hanging fruit that could take people from even just 1 out of 10 that are blocking people from moving from one step to the next or preventing them from doing so, and try to get some wins there. Even just a 10% improvement on the people you're leaving behind from one step to the next can result in small wins at the top, 550 people instead of 500. As you go down, though, each stage of the funnel is getting more and more effective. You're getting more and more people through it as well, and you're winding up doubling your sales in this specific case. So that's kind of the general case for UX as far as conversions are concerned. Let's say you're totally sold and you're new to UX, so you would go out and get a UX book, and you would be confronted with weird terms like information architecture, ethnography studies, contextual inquiries, user participant recruiting, card sorting, tree testing, taxonomies, folksonomies, usability testing, on and on and on. And they might sound weird and hard and time-consuming, and they are weird and hard and time-consuming, but they're also really valuable. Unfortunately, they're only going to be very valuable if you bring the right mindset to the table, and fortunately, if you bring the right mindset to the table, you're going to be able to go pretty far just with that. So today I'd like to talk about just the mindset that you need to bring, or that I recommend, and how I first help people when I come on in a UX consulting job. So for the first thing that I want to start with, and this sounded really smart when I typed it, and when I was looking at it earlier, I was like, that's really vague. But we're going to get to that in a second. But I start with just basically saying what you're looking for is investing in your user's success, and getting more specific about that, understanding what they value and how they define that, and how you can deliver it, and ultimately how you can organize everything that your company makes around that. And to get to that point, there's a sort of diagram formula that I put in place starring everyone's favorite Italian magical plumber, where all the way on the right side there's scrawny little Mario who's just trying to get through things, and then comes upon the fire flower. Suddenly he's big, he's throwing fireballs. He is a Super Mario, if you will. And the reason that this is the biggest takeaway that I can recommend from this is that the end result is not your product. The end result is the upgrade that your product provides to somebody. That's really what this is all about. As I say, people don't buy products, they buy better versions of themselves. And so looking at your product is not as much for what it does for somebody, but what it does to somebody. So some quick examples here. Intercom is in-app messaging software, but we don't value it because it sends text strings from one computer to another. We value it because it turns us into people who are better at talking to our customers. In that same way, Evernote is note-taking software. We don't value it because it saves strings of text to databases for future retrieval. We value it because it turns us into people who are better at remembering things. So coming back to this slide, a lot of times I'll kind of lay that out for people, and they're like, well, that sounds great, but I don't know how I turn anybody into anything better. So getting really specific about that, I have a really actionable tip here. Basically take out 2 pieces of paper, or 1 piece of paper with a line down the middle, also works great. And basically looking at how can you take the scrawny, lame version of that person, metaphorically speaking, and contrast their behavior sets with somebody who's really doing very well because they're using your product. Not specifically how they're using your product itself, but how their life is so much better because of it. So to extend the Mario metaphor, he's doing a lot of ducking and dodging and diving. He's being terrified of getting squished, and he's just kind of trying to make his way in the world. Contrast that with the awesome Mario who's slaying enemies from afar, not giving a crap if he's hit, and crushing brick walls with his face. And you can see that the lifestyle difference is pretty profound there. So one thing I really recommend is getting really specific about how you transform people from one to the other. And ultimately, that's what it's all about, because you're rewarded when you turn that person into that better person, because the awesome Mario on the right is the one who pays you money for the experience. The Mario on the left doesn't give you anything because you're not doing anything for them. So ultimately, the general takeaway here is that you make money by making better people. So the conversion that you're creating needs to be a conversion in that person's life before it ever happens on the screen. So when I talk about conversions, I'm not talking about what's happening on your sign-up form or on your billing page or your trial has ended, now enter your credit card. Those conversions are only consequences, almost reflexes, of somebody having realized the value of the conversion that you made in their life. So when I'm coming into UX consulting projects and I'm looking for those little green lines to start showing up above those bars, the increase in the conversions, what I'm really looking to do is align that entire process along that growth trajectory of the person. So I think I'm pretty much running out here. So to recap, even a slight uptick in UX across the board can have a compound and profound positive effect. Investing in your users' success is the best, is the highest form of user experience. And ultimately, if you focus on turning people into the kind of customers that you want, then you're going to be able to profit from it at the end. You make money by making better people. Thank you very much. Oh, no, I'm not done. I also just released a book on user onboarding, and I'm such big fans of MicroConf and everyone here that if you come up to me afterwards, I'd be very happy to give it to you for free. So thank you now.